Well, hello, folks. Hey, welcome to Sty Times. Hey, we're back. We're back up and running. We're back in business every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, or Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Sty Times. Yeah. 1 hour show. Random topics. Yeah. Yeah. Tonight's topic. Yeah. What got picked out of the hat was stop blaming other people. So don't blame me, man. All I did was I got a random topic generator. I hit the button and it pop, goes through all my topics and pops one up. Blame that. Yeah, I don't get I create my list of topics, but I don't get to pick which one I do on any given night. That machine does it for me. Me devil, I love it. I blame everyone. It can't be me. I love it. Cole Outdoors is here. It is great to see you, Cole Outdoors. Haven't seen Cole Outdoors in a while. And I'll tell you what, um, I'm going to shout out the few folks that are over in the chat right now. But Kathy Gahan came in right away saying hello. She's a sweetheart. And then Cole popped in saying, hey, Sty, it's good to see you. And me Dibble with I blame everyone. It can't be me. I love that. I just love it. Kathy says it's cold there. It's cold here too. I don't know what the high got to today. I haven't even looked lately. Um, but it's been bitter cold every time I poke my head out. It was in the negatives degrees this morning. Um, yeah, I didn't have to go out anywhere today, so I didn't much care. I didn't much care. Um, yeah, if anybody in my community is wondering, well, where's Sty all day today? Don't blame me. Blame Mother Nature. Right? It's easier to blame somebody else, right? Hence the topic is stop blaming other people because it is so easy. There's nothing easier than blaming somebody else. You know, it's the simplest thing in the world. We're going to talk about some of the issues related to blaming other people and where does that all go? Yeah, King Bluto was saying instead of blaming other people, blame it on the weather. There you go. And there's Tim with Kirk Whipper Voyager Center. Yeah, popping right in there. It's great. Always great to see Tim. The 6 below where Cole's at. That's Michigan, right? Right? Yeah. And for me, Dibble, it's 47 degrees Fahrenheit. 47, that's when folks here in northern Wisconsin start going out in t-shirts. Gets over 50 at all, then they're out in shorts and t-shirts. Um, Kathy's saying it is that's 11 degrees centigrade. I don't know what that is Fahrenheit. But, oh, it's minus 11 centigrade. Wow. Yeah, that's chilly. That's chilly. 64 degrees for King Bluto. Heat wave. King Bluto's having a heat wave. But I'll tell you what. Stop blaming other people. Hey, share this out. Here's your chance. Early in the show, share it out. Share it out. Let the whole world know. Come on over. Come on over. We're getting Sty Times running again. We got some good topics coming up the next couple of shows. There's Tickled Funny Bone. Great to see ya. It's been a while. And there's Kimberly Ferris. There's the sweetheart for you. Oh, my usuals. I love you folks. But I'll tell you what, through my whole life, the blame game has always been a pet peeve of mine. When somebody would start to blame somebody, I I get a little bent out of shape because I don't want to hear the blame. I don't want to hear the blame. I don't mind someone holding you responsible or accountable. And I've had people say, well, blame is synonymous with being accountable or responsible. No, it is not. Holding somebody accountable means you got the facts. Man, there's no doubt that person caused that. Holding them responsible is because it was through their decisions that something occurred. And it's very easily proven. There's no other purpose for those two. But blaming somebody, there's only two things that blaming does. It degrades an individual in the eyes of others, and it embarrasses that individual in the eyes of others. Holding someone accountable or responsible doesn't require an audience, but to blame somebody, for it to have a good effect, requires an audience. So if I were to blame you for something, I'm going to want someone else to hear it. I want someone to hear me say, I'm blaming you. Because what's it do? It takes all the attention off of me, puts it all on you, because the audience now thinks you're a bad person. You are to blame for something. So the purpose behind blaming is a damaging effect. It's not a healing or repairing effect. It's a damaging effect. You blame in order to damage. You hold accountable or responsible to resolve, to bring a resolve to something. So I do personally have an issue with being blamed or myself blaming somebody else. I have no qualms about holding them accountable for their own actions or responsible for things that have happened because of them and what they've done. I have no problem with that. But to point my finger at them with an audience and say, I'm blaming you. I don't care for that one bit. I don't like that. I don't like that. Blame. The blame game. I know a lot of people would I'm sorry, folks, but I'm taking a look at something on one of my other machines here. There we go. Okay, I had a little technical difficulty there. I've been messing and rewiring and reorganizing my studio a bit today, and some things just aren't connected the way they used to be. I'm taking a quick look at this chat over here. But 47 degrees centigrade is also not t-shirt weather. No, at 47 degrees centigrade, I wouldn't be out in a t-shirt. 47 degrees Fahrenheit, many times. Heck, when I was back in my school days, I'd go to school wearing shorts and t-shirt, and it's only 45, 50 degrees. The Kim said that it's negative 30 centigrade in Timmins. Holy smokes! That's chilly. Tickled Funny Bones stealth camping in Superior. Wow. In the city? City of Superior's got about 80,000 people in it, I think. But it's all surrounded by the wilds. I mean, northern Wisconsin, right up to the city limits of Superior, it's all wooded, wild country. Interesting laws Wisconsin has. Hey, Tales of Campground Host is in the house. Don't blame me. He just showed up. There's Travis for you. It's great to see you there, Travis. Tickled Funny Bones in the Duluth area. Yeah. Me Dibble sent me a message over in the Facebook side. I take a quick peek over there. Yeah. Some things are redundant. But anyway, this Me Dibble was maybe a whole different take on it, right? I can remember being told one time that there's nothing worse in the world than being blamed for something you didn't do, right? Right? That's bad, man. That's that. Well, I had a situation where I was growing up. Across the street from us, there's this big embankment that went down, dropped about, I don't know, 15, 20 feet. And then at the base of that, there was a railroad track, right? And I was walking down them tracks one day, and there's this girl down there. And this neighbor boy, just a couple houses down from me, this little girl. We were we were young kids. And she's crying away. And I thought, what the heck's going on? And I walk over and I see a doll laying there on the tracks. One of its arms is tore off, its head's tore off. She's just crying, boy, tears are running. And he's laughing at her. And he kicks that doll. And I go, what's going on? And she goes, he killed my doll. I looked at him. I said, you little SOB, I'm going to pound the piss out of you. And he goes, oh, yeah, right. I said, I will. I said, what are you doing picking on her? You leave her be. Well, he took me serious and he run for home. Well, I told that little girl, I said, are you okay? And she's still crying hard. Yeah, I think so. And I picked her doll parts up. I was just a little kid. I wasn't sure how to put that doll back together. So I handed her the doll parts. And, told her I was sorry that he did that. And I started heading home. She's heading down the tracks, and I know she lives just maybe a quarter of a mile down the tracks. Well, hi, Rebecca Felter out there in the chat. Hey, this is a good place to come hang out if you're bored. But this little girl, she goes on home. I go to the house and I'm just proud of myself, right? I went down there. I saved the day. I saved the little girl. Right? Well, my pop, he was local chief of police. He comes home for the afternoon for a break. Comes home. He heads in the house. Him and my mom are chatting. I'm just sitting out on the front step wondering what the heck am I going to do today. All of a sudden, I look and here comes this big feller. Boy, he's a big guy too. He come walking out and he's got this little girl by the hand. She's got this beat up doll in her hand, other arm. And they're walking down the road and I thought, oh, they're going down the neighbor kid's house. Somebody's in big trouble. Oh no, turns into our driveway. I opened the door. I thought, oh man, he's going to want to talk to my dad. He's going to take my dad down to the neighbor's house and have their way with that kid. So I yelled for my dad. I said, Dad, there's somebody here. And he come out. And this fella comes over. He says, I'd like to talk to you. My dad says, sure. And he says, without that kid anywhere close. And my dad looked at me like what the hell? And I knew better, man. I went to the backyard, went and sat at our picnic table. My pop calls me back to the front of the house. I get up to the front of the house. There's that guy and that little girl heading out the driveway. They're walking back towards the airport. And I say to my dad, what's up? My dad says, you're in a heap of trouble. I said, what do you mean I'm in a heap of trouble? What? Why? He says, you're getting a whooping, boy. I said, well, for what? He goes, for terrorizing that little girl and breaking her doll all up like that. I said, I didn't do nothing to her. I said, it was so-and-so down the road. I came across the two of them on the tracks. I told him what happened. My pop goes, he blamed you. He said he talked to his little girl and she just kept repeating your name. Just kept repeating your name, never mentioned that kid down the road. She just kept repeating your name. Well, that little girl was all distraught, you know. And I said, Dad, that ain't right, man. He did it. I stopped him. My dad says, doesn't matter. That man come down here specifically blamed you. So you're the one taking the punishment. My pop told me, he said, and if you didn't do it, and it was the kid down the street, then maybe you need to go have a talk with that kid down the street. But he says, as far as you're concerned, you've been blamed. And he said, and I can't prove otherwise. Just with what you're saying, that's all. But he says, that man is adamant and he's blaming me. So I took a whooping for that. Kid down the street ended up taking a whooping for it too. Worse than I got. I made sure of it because I whooped him like 3-4 times over it. But that stuck with me the rest of my life. I never want to be blamed for something I did not do ever. But it also changed my whole perspective over blaming. Don't blame other people. Stop blaming other people. Hold them accountable. Make them responsible. But don't blame. Don't just blame somebody. Because once the blaming starts, all of a sudden all the facts and everything don't matter. What matters is emotions. They're blaming you. It's got to be you. They're blaming you. But they don't know the facts. Doesn't matter. And they wouldn't blame you if you weren't guilty. Blaming is a bad thing. Woo. can go so wrong. Go so wrong. Now we see that in today's day, modern era. See it all the time. You see these things all over the news and the TV. Oh, such a thing happened, and that person this, and that, and we're blaming him for this, and that, and everybody gets in an uproar. All of a sudden, it all becomes fact. He's been blamed. Got to be guilty. Got to be guilty. He's been blamed. Settle down. Settle down. Let's hear some of the facts first. Let's find out if that person's responsible. And then we'll hold them accountable. But let's not blame them. Don't blame them for anything until we know the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. But that leads down to that path, and I did a Sty story on that, is tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing near the truth. That's where society has gone, and that's where blaming can become a real issue, is we blame before we got all the facts. And I'm not good with that. I'm not good with blaming like that. That's, the tickled funny going, due process? Question mark. Yeah, right. Yeah, we should allow that due process, no one will ever know the whole truth. That's it, and that's it is, well, there's a lot of things that go with that. There's reasons why people don't hear the whole truth. There's people afraid to tell the truth. I mean, I've witnessed it myself so many times where people, they just prefer not to say it because they know that the truth is going to hurt them more than just keeping their mouth shut. Well, that's not good either. That's not good either. I'm one where I'd rather tell the truth, good, bad, or indifferent, and just live with the consequences of telling the truth. It's easier to live with than it is to hold your tongue or to lie about something. I mean, and if more people, I think, were just being honest, just say it the way it is, then we'd have a lot less blaming. But it's like that little pic that I popped up there. That is so true. I mean, it's his fault. No, it's her fault. No, it's their fault. Well, it's not me. What does blaming somebody do? It triggers you to be defensive. So right away you say, well, it's not me. Shouldn't have to do that. We shouldn't have to defend ourselves against being blamed. Don't blame me. I mean, let's talk about this. I'll tell you what my involvement was. And then you can decide if I was responsible. And even if I was responsible, am I accountable for what happened? Because maybe something I said or did triggered someone else to do something that they ended up being truly accountable for. That's like when people try to an individual murder somebody, and they'll say, yeah, but I would have never done it if it wasn't for so-and-so. They're blaming somebody else for their action. Well, that is the way people protect themselves socially by redirecting attention to someone else away from you. And that's all blaming is for, is to redirect the attention to someone else. And that's why I said blaming doesn't have a lot of value unless it's got an audience. If you've got witnesses to hear you say, I'm blaming that person. Now those witnesses, they just go, oh, it was that person. Now all of a sudden, you went from 1 to 5 blamers. It could have all started with somebody came to you and said, I heard you did this or that. And you said, no, it was him. You need to blame him, not me. Well, that redirected all that attention to him. Got it off of you. That's the purpose of blaming right there, is redirecting all of that. And we're going to talk a little more about that after the half-hour mark here. I see over at Facebook, I got a comment from an individual saying, thank you for sharing. That's nice that someone's over there watching on the Facebook side. Because I am streaming in both places. It's whenever I do Sty Times, it's simultaneous Facebook and YouTube. So, hey, Raven, the Blackbird's in the house. Tickle Funny Bone. Yeah, I could answer this behaviorally. Yeah. I'm a psych law behavior analyst. And, oh, fun. Yeah, that's fun. Hey, there's Running Water. Running Water came into the house. It's great to see you there, son. Hope you're having a good day out on the road. Yeah, Raven the Blackbird. It's been a while since seeing you, Raven. It's good to see you, buddy. There's a false allegations textbook I'd like to share. Oh yeah, false allegations, man. Yeah, that's it. I mean, and that plays into the blame game, making false accusations against somebody is another form of blaming, so that it takes that attention away from you. That's very common actually. Well, we're at about the halfway mark here, and every show at the halfway mark, don't go anywhere, anybody. This takes less than a minute. I take this opportunity to shout out my channel members, and I got some great channel members, and this takes less than 1 minute. So don't go anywhere. Watch through and check out these folks. They're wonderful, wonderful channels, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, we're back. Yeah. The whole blame game thing, I've had so much of it to deal with throughout my career that Oh boy, it just got so old. I I went to work for a Native American tribe that, oh well, E-Waste Mike is in the house. It's great to see you, E-Waste Mike. And this tribe, I worked for them for about, well, I worked for them at least 6 years at that point. And I worked for a division of their government. And their central government all of a sudden collapsed. It had a huge embezzlement scheme that occurred. There were 21 people involved. 21 people. $1.7 million embezzled. You want to see something? Holy God. 21 people pointing their fingers at each other. He did it, she did it, they did it. Over there, that one. Boom, 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 boom. Man, they were all blaming each other. Blame. All the... Well, they couldn't find anybody willing to come in. And what I did was I did financial crisis management. I'd go into organizations that had a financial crash, whatever caused it, and I'd go in and I'd help them restructure. I'd write new policies, internal controls, blah, 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 blah. Well, I'm already working for that tribe, right? They get a hold of me and they said, we can't get anybody to take that position. And I said, well, sucks to be you. And they said, no, it sucks to be you because we're going to promote you into that position as chief financial officer of the tribe. I said, no, I don't want it. I know what's going on up there. That's nuts, man. They said, no, we need you. Hey, Scrap Man Dan's in the house. Good to see you. And I said, well, okay. I said, I'll take it. I'll take the position. I said, I'd rather even lose my current position. I was a senior accountant in another division at that time. And paid good. And I said, I'd rather give up that job, not work for you at all, and go get a new job than take that big top of the hill job. Well, I said, I'll take it, but I do have a couple of conditions. And the biggest of those is financially, you guys can make the decisions. But as far as accounting for everything, I'm in charge. Nobody else gets involved. I'm in charge, period. And they said, we'll go for it. So I went in there. They had fired 21 people. Only one person. There was a total of 22 staff in their accounting division involved in this. And only one person kept their job because they're the ones that actually exposed what was happening in that financial division of the tribe. Well, that person, they earned some credibility from me because they didn't blame anybody. They didn't point a finger at any one person. They did say, I think I know where it started and I can put you onto that. And I said, okay, that's good. We'll get into that. And they did. They did help give me enough of a front end history of what occurred in that department. And I, fortunately, I just have to take care of something real quick. There we go. But I got in there. And one thing I did, and I was surprised, I got some cooperation from these 21 embezzlers. I bring them in one at a time and interview them. And Timothy Parker's in the house. Good to see you. The Each one of them pointed fingers at somebody else. Boom, boom, boom. The blame game was going on. Boy, oh boy, it's going on heavy. When you got 21 people that are blaming each other, it gets pretty muddy. I mean, you just have a heck of a time sorting that out when you've got 21 people blaming other people for their own personal actions. And that was the whole key, was to determine what each person's personal responsibility in this embezzlement scheme was. And we accomplished it. We did. We accomplished it. But the first thing I did with each one of them, I'd let them point the finger, all the blame, point all the blame. Now, you might think this is weird, but I had a 18 by 24-inch mirror sitting behind my desk where they couldn't see it. And I'd let them blame all these others in their department. And then I'd pick that mirror up and I'd set it in front of me. So it's between me and them. And they got to look at themselves in that mirror. And I go, you forgot one person that needs to be blamed. Oh my Lord, you should have seen the reactions of almost every one of them. And I'd set the mirror back down. They wouldn't see it again after that. But I made damn sure they had to look at their own face right there, right across the desk from them. And they'd hear me on the other side saying, oh, but you forgot one person that you need to blame. I'd set that mirror down and I'd say, now let's talk about that person. What was that person doing? What did they do? What was their responsibility in this? And are they in a position they should have been accountable for their actions? That was the only way to come down right to, hello, JCT and all coming in the chat. But that was the only way to get beyond the blaming of other people, was to get them to accept their own responsibilities. I don't care if they were to blame for something else or this or that. Who was to blame for your actions? Are you telling me that they forced your hand? That's why you're not at fault? If you can show me how you're not at fault without blaming others, you show me where you had no responsibility and you had no accountability in this situation. Then your blame, I can look at it a little more seriously. Otherwise, it's just blame. I don't, that's another reason why I don't like the blame game, is because, again, it just draws attention off of the person doing the blaming. With me, if someone's blaming somebody else, they just got my attention on them. I look at the source of the blame. Who's doing the blaming here? And why? Why are they blaming somebody else? Why aren't they just asking questions? Oh, did you have anything to do with this or that? No, they want to blame. They want to divert that attention. I am not going to divert my attention. I'm going to look right at you. That's, you look for the person that is crying wolf, and everybody turns and looks, and he runs the other way. What's he up to? The blaming other people is just not a good thing. Not a good thing. Um, Lawn dog. It's great to see you out there. Lawn dog saying, well, I had two brothers, and when something happened at home, my two brothers would blame each other. So it really made a mess of trying to figure out what happened. Yeah. And that's it. Is you got people pointing their fingers at each other, and you're, yeah. And Lawn dog saying nobody wants to admit they've done something. And that's it. Is if people were to take just their own personal responsibility for things, you steal away that ability of others to blame. I was notorious for it, especially as a teenager. And my friends, they got to the point where it was, oh, blame Sty, what the hell? Blame Sty, you'll take the blame for anything, because I don't care. To me, blame had no value to me whatsoever. And someone would say, hey, such and such a thing happened. Does anybody know who did that? And I'd say, blame me. What the heck? I can take it. I don't care. Go ahead, blame me. Because if you got any common sense, you're not going to give the blame any weight. You're going to look into it and find out whether it's true or not. You know, the I always loved doing that. You know, I wonder who's to blame. Ah, what the hell? Blame me. I don't care. I don't care. Go ahead, blame me. I didn't do it. Go ahead, blame me. I don't mind if I'm blamed for something when I know dang well there's no way they can prove they're blamed. I mean, yeah, go ahead, blame me. You're just full of it, you know. But, and that was the thing when I was growing up. My pop, it pretty strict old fella, yeah. And you were so much farther ahead. I didn't care how bad of the situation you might be in, but you were so far ahead. Just owning up to your own responsibilities. I mean, he'd say, hey, boy, come here. Did you do such thing? Yep, that was me. Sorry, Dad, man. I shouldn't have done that, I guess. My punishments were so much softer when I just fessed up, man. If I started going, oh, it was Harold. Me and Harold, we were, and Harold, you should have seen what Harold did. Oh, man. And then the truth comes out that, oh, yeah, well, Harold was there. But it was Sty that did that. And, oh, now the whooping gets bigger. Yeah. Because I was diverting my responsibility and dumping it on somebody else. And it was tough, but it was fair. Don't blame others when you've got responsibility in something. Don't go there. You know, I would much rather hold my tongue than to blame somebody for something. But like I said, I'm not shy at holding someone accountable or responsible for something. But that's not the blame. I just had a recent incident, just a couple months ago, with an individual. Got into a pretty heated spat, and I actually lost some followers because of it. And I can't do anything about that. I can't change that unless I decided to play the blame game. And I haven't. I haven't played the blame game. The situation was such that individual is convinced a few others that it was all my fault. It was all Sty's fault. And he's the one that went down that road. No, I was led down a road, and it got heated. It got good and heated, and but it got turned around, and the individual used the blame game, and I wouldn't play. I just held my tongue. Said, "Fine, go ahead and blame." And I lost a few followers because of it, and I don't see it as really that big of a loss. It's just that if you want to give credibility to blamers, I can't control that. You know. Lawn Dog, hey Sty, are you familiar with Dr. Robert Malone? He's the guy who basically invented the mRNA code grid technology, and he's popping up and telling his stories since the first of the year. Some of his stuff has been taken down because he's really exposing a lot of things. His most famous podcast was on Joe Rogan. I saw that live, and we got things going on. You don't even want to even know them. Now he's popping up on Rumble with other interviewers of stature in the world. He's getting up there lost. They're lost. Timothy was saying that. Yeah, they're lost. I mean, if they, we pick our friends, right? We all pick our own friends. If we're smart, we don't allow others to pick our friends for us. We pick them ourselves. And if someone decides that they don't want to friend me, that's all right. That's all right. I still care for those people. I still like them. I hope they come back someday. But they make their own personal choices, and that's okay. I'm, I, you know, I see it more as it's a shame, it's too bad. People don't have to, shouldn't have to be afraid to, you know, be who they are, be, and just expect, that just accept responsibility in life, who we are, and what we do. And if somebody blames us, if we are responsible for it, or we should be held accountable, I personally think the best thing to do then is just tell them to take the wind out of their sails. Just say, well, your blame is properly directed because, yes, it was my responsibility. Yeah, it happened because of me. I already taken responsibility for it. And that just shoots them down, boy. Oh, Samantha Lee, hi, sweetie. Love you, girl. Sure love your new puppy. She's got herself a new pup. She's got this beautiful Siberian. Oh my God. Yeah, yeah. The Long Dog. Hey, after time goes on, you learn the character of your friends. A good background takes a considerable amount of time after that. You can make great judgment calls on whether somebody did something or not because you know the character. And that's true. That is so true. And that's if you know the person truly personally, a lot of times you let that stuff roll off your back, like water on a duck's back. Just let it roll off. It is so good to see you, Samantha. I'm back up and running, girl. Yeah, yeah. I'm all settled. Well, I'm living at Running Waters at my son's house right now, and I almost said I'm all settled in. I'd have to correct myself real quick. No, I'm moved in. I'm no longer at the old apartment at all. Period. I'm here. I've got my brand new studio. It's a mess right now, but it's coming together quite sweetly. Um, and I'm slowly but surely unpacking things. It's going to be a chore. I'm probably about 20%, about 20% done unpacking everything and trying to get this house in order. And it's coming together. It's coming together. Yeah. Yeah. Samantha's saying she's that the pup's getting big, doubling in size every week. You would think she's the Husky Clifford. uh, yeah. Yeah, they stay puppies as long as they are a puppy, but they get big. They get big. You know, that's the thing with the Siberian. I I had sled dogs for a while, and I had a good mix of Siberians. I had my biggest Siberian was an 85 pounder, and he was a great wheel dog. You know, he was first in line on the team, right in front of the sled. He was a wheel dog. He was all power. But I had a 45-pound female Siberian. That was her mature, full-grown weight, 45 pounds. That dog pulled 650 pounds of dog food by herself. She was one tough little baby boy. I love them Siberians. I love them. Malamutes are fun too. I ran a couple of them, and they're big. They're big. My best dog was in my opinion was a was a Siberian cross with an Alaskan timber wolf. Little odd to handle, that dog, Cody. And Cody, other people didn't seem to have much luck handling Cody. Cody loved people, but wouldn't behave for them. I mean, just wouldn't take orders from anybody, and just didn't behave well for anybody. But with me, boy, Cody, just anything I wanted from Cody, Cody gave me. And he was my sweetest dog, Siberian Alaskan Timberwolf cross. He was a he was a he was a big boy. See, I didn't consider him true Siberian because of the Timberwolf. I mean, and most of the Timberwolf is what showed up in him. And he was borderline albino. He had pink nose, pink pads, and he was a white, except he had like a dark blonde strip down his back and all the way down his tail. And he didn't have the curled tail of a husky. He had the flat tail of a wolf. That usually he rarely would it stand up. When his tail was standing up, it was a sign of dominance over the pack. But otherwise, his tail was just hanging straight down. And so he was an unusual fella. And he had blue eyes. He didn't have the pink eyes and the blue eyes. He wasn't a full albino. And yeah, he's the pups getting up there on 14. Yeah. Oh, Samantha's pups. Papa is a Malamute. Yeah. Start the dog brush collections. The Sky's nose is pink. She has a black stripe on her back. So funny. Yeah. A reverse skunk, right? the fun Tickle Funny Bone saying, found myself defending you and your sons on the gaming subject with my mom, by the way. On the gaming subject. Yeah, well, thank you, I guess. I don't really know what the topic was, but I don't argue with people about gaming issues because everybody and their cousin knows everything about gaming. They didn't spend 16 years being the chief financial officer over two large casinos and the project coordinator for a $500 million casino. And then they want to tell me how things are in the gaming world. And I just laugh and I go, I ain't going there with you. I ain't talking. Yeah. I know what I know. I know what I know. And I don't want to know what you know, because it doesn't change a damn thing. Because you had to been there. You had to do it. Yeah, that's the thing too. It's, that's a area that I had to deal with a lot of blaming. Was in the gaming industry, man. 16 years of people going, it's his fault. I mean, I heard it every frickin' day of the week for 16 years. It wasn't me, it was him. Oh no, it was her over there. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that crap going on in the gaming industry was insane. It was not my fault. Nope, it was him. How do you know it was him? Well, I got no proof, but I'm blaming him. Yeah, oh God, I heard that all the time. So stop blaming other people, man. Just say, well, that didn't involve me. It wasn't my job. I didn't, tell the truth. If you really don't think you were responsible or accountable for something, just tell the truth. Instead of trying to get rid of them asking you questions by saying, I'm blaming her. That's, it's like I said, blame. Stop blaming other people, because when you blame other people, all it has is the effect of making it look like you're trying to divert the attention away from you and put it on somebody else. Tickle Funny Bone says, if you're not having fun in life, you are doing it wrong, right? You are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. Old Sty is turning 65 next month. I'm turning 65 next month. My spirit, what really counts, what's in here, what's inside of Sty, I'm 25. And I enjoy my life. I enjoy every moment I can. Things that make me feel dissatisfied, boy, I do everything I can to turn that around, cheer myself up, be happy. I mean, life. I guarantee you guys, I got the years and the experience to be able to argue with. Life is too short, guys. Too short. Try to make every day a happy day, man. It's important. It's important. And if you've had a very sad life, your whole life, you haven't had happy moments, don't blame others for that. Because when you get to be my age, you'll look back and you'll say, I really only have myself to blame. I should have done everything I could to make myself happy in life. Don't blame others. And Cheesehead says, I'll argue with you. If he didn't argue with me, I'd be concerned. I'd be so concerned. Yeah, me devil. It's tough. I mean, there's times where just being happy is tough. And you know what turned me happy? I had a doctor tell me after my divorce, they said, I'm going to put you on one more prescription. I said, really? I don't want any more pills, man. And they said, well, you got one more prescription. I said, what is it? And they said, every morning, I want you to get up knowing that there's something going to go wrong for the day. And I want you to take a really big pill. It's a horse pill. It's a big one. And I said, what pill is that? And she said, it's an I don't give a shit pill. I want you to take that every morning. I want you to take your I don't give a shit about all these bad things going on. All I give a shit about is having a happy moment during the day. And she was right. She was right. Every morning, get up, take that I don't give a shit pill. I don't give a shit about all those problems and this and that. I'll deal with them in order, but I need to enjoy my life. I need to be happy in my life. Yeah, that's right. The Yeah, me Dibble, that's it. Is I've had those moments this summer, my medical conditions, and they're getting better. So that's making me happy. Sty's becoming a very happy camper again. Yeah. So that's it, guys. That's the end of the show for today. I want to thank you all for being here at Sty Times. It's been great. All great folks coming in and checking out the show. And don't forget, there's no show tomorrow, but Wednesday, Sty Times. You watch the end credits here and you'll see what the topic is for Wednesday. And I really like this topic coming up. I was surprised it popped up on my topic generator. It popped up right now. It's actually a convenient time for me because I can add a few things to the topic. But so Wednesday, make sure to stop in and check out Sty Times on a whole new topic. And Friday's topic, you're going to love that one. When that one pops up on Wednesday, you'll see what's going on Friday's topic, yeah, I will laugh a little bit on that one. So until then, I want you all to take care of yourselves. All stay healthy and safe. Sty loves y'all. Hey, you have a good next day or two. Don't blame me if you don't. Okay. Bye-bye, folks.